Your moon sign is quite possibly the most important part of your chart. And that is because your moon sign is your emotions and your innermost self, the part of you that you keep closest to your heart. But how do you even find your moon sign in the first place? Watch this video to find out. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabelle and today we are talking about the moon sign, specifically how you can find your moon sign in your chart or just know what your moon sign is in the first place. So if reading a zodiac wheel or birth chart wheel specifically like this is really overwhelming, I'm going to show you a way to find out your moon sign without having to look at this complex geometric math looking chaos. I love getting to talk about the moon sign because, as I said, I think the moon sign is quite possibly the most important aspect of our birth chart and of who we are. The moon sign, simply put, is our emotions. And so while most of us know our sun sign, which is our ego, oftentimes it can feel like this is accurate, but not really. Whereas the moon sign can feel very striking to discover because the moon sign is our emotions and our innermost self. It's like our inner child, or so to say, our heart in many ways in my interpretation, because it shows us what we need for emotional fulfillment and what we tend to act like when we feel most comfortable with people. So when you learn about your moon sign, you're going to probably feel like it's something that you try to keep close to yourself. It's not something you're always showing out in the open, and maybe even something that people closest to you would see in you, but it takes a while. You need to be able to trust people before you let them see this side of you. Knowing your moon sign is also huge for personal development because our moon sign, with it being our emotions, our emotional needs, our emotional fulfillment, and what emotions we tend to struggle with, it gives us indication into what emotions we can catch ourselves getting caught up in, maybe like negativity, sadness, anger, frustration, pride, but it also tells us what we need for emotional fulfillment. Knowing my moon sign personally has been huge for my self-development and self-love. Understanding that as a moon in Cancer, I need a high amount of nurturance and I need to avoid being too sensitive was huge for me. And so it will be the same, I'm guessing, for you. So knowing your moon sign helps you understand yourself, understand what emotions you may be struggling with, catch your negative emotions, and find true emotional fulfillment. Because while our sun sign shows kind of our values, the moon sign shows what we need as human beings uniquely to be fulfilled. So without further ado, now that I've fixed my camera angle, because I felt like I was having to hunch down to talk right now, how can you know your moon sign? First things first, kind of the obvious one, you're gonna need your birth information, which is the date, place, and time of birth. And I cannot stress enough the time of birth, because here's the deal. The moon changes zodiac signs every 2.5 days. And so if you are born on the half day that it changes, and maybe you were born in the morning, it's possible that your moon sign is going to be different based off of if you're born in the morning versus at night. So knowing your time of birth will help you know for sure what your moon sign is. And as a bonus, when you know your time of birth, you're also going to be able to discover the house that your moon sign is also in, which is another level of self-development that you can get into. And I have a whole video series covering what it means to have your moon in each sign that you can check out later. Once you have your birth info, you're just going to Google search online for astrology birth chart, and you're going to pull your chart using any system. I have used astro.com, Astro Charts, Cafe Astrology. They're all great and they all work. So once you have put in your birth info and you've hit submit, there's two different ways that you can discover your moon sign. Option one is much simpler. You'll usually, when you pull a chart, get a little table chart like so, especially if you're using Cafe Astrology, and you can see where it says moon and it'll tell you what sign it's in without you having to read through and understand all the symbols. You'll also see on this table chart that'll also give you a number, and that is the specific degree of the zodiac sign that your moon sign is in. Option two, if you want to become a bit more of an advanced astrologer and eventually learn how to read a birth chart wheel, you're going to simply look for a moon symbol like so. It's a crescent moon. It's pretty straightforward. Regardless of what place you pull your chart, you're going to have a crescent moon symbol that it represents your moon sign. Once you know what the moon sign looks like, you're going to look at the birth chart wheel and locate where it is. You'll see that the moon has a line that's fixing it into an outer wheel, which represents all the 12 zodiac signs. And if you don't know what each zodiac sign symbol looks like, I'll put also an image here so that you know. You can use this to cross-reference and then be able to locate what sign your moon is in. So in this example, using my personal chart, you can see that the crescent moon shape is basically around 3 o'clock on the east side, so to say, and it has a line fixing it into a symbol that looks like two little lines with circles, so to say, and that is Cancer. So my moon is in Cancer. So once you know what sign your moon is in, now you can take the next step into understanding what this means for you. As I said, whatever sign your moon is in is going to indicate what emotional turmoils you may struggle with, what negative emotions you may tend towards, what you need for emotional fulfillment, and what you're going to be like with those you trust the most. So I have a whole video series covering what it means to have your moon in each sign that I invite you to check out. I'm going to give a really exaggerated movement because I forget every single time I film to put these cards in. But overall, you can also just start by knowing the element that your moon is in. So for example, if your moon is in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, you're emotionally driven by intensity and passion. But if you are a moon in a water sign, such as Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, you're emotionally driven by emotional connection and following your emotions and being soft and gentle with other people, following the feels. If you have a moon in an earth sign, so Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, you're emotionally driven by stability and material comfort. And if you are a moon in an air sign, such as Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, you're emotionally driven by the desire to learn and socialize and intellectually stimulate yourself. If you're interested in using your moon sign to better understand yourself, focus on self-development, and practice self-love, I have a whole moon sign self-care workbook that you can access in the link in the description below, where I dive deep into the 12 different moon signs and how you can practice self-care for your unique moon. In this workbook, I teach you all you need to know about your moon sign, and I give you checklists for what you need for self-care, journal prompts for self-reflection, and so much more. You can learn more about the Moon Sign Self-Care Workbook down below, and of course, feel free to drop a comment if you have any questions about it. If you're also just starting your astrology journey and you want to learn astrology on your own, you can access the Moon Sign Self-Care Workbook and my other astrology workbooks, including the Birth Chart Workbook, the Simple Guide to Zodiac Signs, and so much more in my Astrology Bundle, where I give you access to all of my workbooks for one set price. So you can check that out too in the link in the description below. And finally, of course, if you just don't want to have to do the research and you don't want to have to get into all the overwhelming data and you want to learn about your moon sign and the rest of your chart, feel free to book a reading in the link in the description below, where in 1 hour we dive deep into your unique astrological birth chart, but also your personality type combination. So Enneagram, Myers-Briggs, numerology, we cover it all. Any and everything. The sky's the limit, whatever you want to focus on. Book a reading in the link in the description below. Check out those links below. Be sure to check out my video series talking more about your moon sign, and let me know, of course, if this video helped you in the comments below. Did this answer your questions on how to find your moon sign, how to know your moon sign? Are you still in the dark? Is it still confusing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to help. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Sincerely hope you enjoyed. Once again, my name's Isabelle, and from my heart to yours, namaste.